Hi guys, it's Ankita. Welcome to another video. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I talk about books here, review them, recommend them. So if that's something that you're looking for, consider subscribing to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about Love in the Time of Cholera by Gabriel García Márquez. In this book, we follow our two main characters, Florentino and Fermina. Florentino is madly in love with Fermina. He is a romantic at heart. He is a lovesick man. Florentino and Fermina, when they are young, they are in love. They write letters to each other. It's that young love a situation, but they go their separate ways. I don't want to tell you exactly what happens. I think you should go into this blind because then I'll be giving away the plot. I'm not the biggest fan of the plot of this book, but we'll talk about that a bit later. So Florentino and Fermina, they have this passionate love for each other when they're young, but Fermina and Florentino, they go their separate ways, and we follow both of them through these more than 50 years, and they find themselves after 50 years, more than 50 years, in a situation where they were when they were young. But life has happened and both of them experience love in different ways, loss, grief. They have grown as people, they have changed. They are no longer their old selves when they were in love. Anyway, that's where the plot goes without giving you any spoilers. But really, the story is mostly about unhinged, obsessive, unhealthy love on Florentino's part. Florentino, I found to be a really complex character. Now, I read this book a decade ago. I wasn't a big fan of the plot then. I was really confused by Florentino's character back then. This time when I read it, I had a better sense of why Florentino is the way that he is. He is not a character that I love, but he's definitely a memorable character. Same with Fermina. Fermina is a very proud woman. She is complex like all of us are, and the beauty about this book is the writing. It is beautiful because Marquez has crafted a beautiful story. With Marquez, there's always the magic that he weaves with his words, and this story is no different. It is embarrassing I haven't read one of his most popular books, 100 Years of Solitude. I have read his other books. One of my favorites is Of Love and Other Demons. I am a bit intimidated to start 100 Years of Solitude, but this book, when I read it a decade ago, and even now when I read it, when I finished it yesterday, I was just blown away by the writing, by the storytelling. With Marquez, none of his books have the same storytelling style. It is unique. His writing style is unique, and on top of that, every book that he wrote, he tried to experiment with his writing. So none of them are the same, but they are perfect in every way. He's known for magical realism in his book. This one, I don't think has a lot of magical realism in it, although I think this is a book that's perfect to read in the summer. It's set in Latin America around the Magdalena River. It has riverboat journeys. It has birds in it. It has love letters, the exchanging of love letters. It has twisted love, whatever you want to call this story. I think people who love Wuthering Heights will like this book. It's definitely not a book for everyone. If you are someone who is looking for really righteous characters or characters with good characteristics, only good characteristics, this might not be the book for you. But if you like Wuthering Heights, obviously this one is nothing like Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights I absolutely love, but for very different reasons. But if you appreciate the unhealthy passion that's portrayed in Wuthering Heights, you will probably be able to appreciate this book as well. Yeah, basically if you like perfect characters, this book is not for you. Again, I am not the biggest fan of the plot, but I did love the ending of this book. By the ending, I mean the last few lines. It ends on something that Florentino says, and this book is mostly about Florentino and his obsessive love. And there are some beautiful observations in this book, not only about love, but about marriage. There are so many underlying themes. If you love literary fiction, who loves literary fiction really? If you appreciate books as a form of art, you will really appreciate this book. If you have never read one of the books by this author and you pick this one up and you don't like this, do not think you won't like any other books by this author. Like I said, his writing style for each of the books is very different, and this one I've heard is very different to 100 Years of Solitude. But I love this book. There are so many quotes in this book. My biggest regret is not having a physical copy of this book. The first time I read, I had a PDF with me, and I don't know where that PDF has gone. And this time I listened to the audiobook, and while I was listening to it, I was like, shoot, I really wish I had a physical copy to just like highlight. And there's some beautiful observations, beautiful quotes in this. Marquez's writing, his work is like magic. He is my favorite author. I'll just say he's my favorite author. It's a shame I haven't read all of his works, but also it makes my life more exciting because I have excellent things to look forward to. When I first read this book, it really surprised me that such beautiful writing could exist. I was totally blown away by the storytelling. I'll tell you what, either there's like a storytelling where events happen in a sequence, either this or there's like flashback, you kind of go from 1 year then you go to the previous years or the future. This one, Marquez, I have never been able to figure out what kind of structure has he used to tell this story. Read the story and let me know if you have figured out what structure he has used to tell this story. But it all seems seamless. Marquez has a unique way of telling the story. I haven't been able to figure it out what it is, but it works. It is a work of genius. I would highly recommend this book if you love literary fiction. I think you will really, if you love literary fiction, I'm 100% sure you will love this book for what it is. This is a perfect book to read with your buddy or to read as a group. So like a perfect book club pick because there's so much that you can talk about and such beautiful writing to discuss about. Anyway, so that's all I have to say about this, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and I'll see you next time. Until then, take care. Bye bye.